How's it going, guys? And welcome back to the Montpellier Career Mode, episode number 20. I nearly said 19 there. And we are 3 games off the January transfer window. We've got a big game in today's episode. Actually, 2 big games, really. One in the league against PSG and one in the final game in the group stage in the Europa League. A draw will send us through, and anything else will pretty much send us through anyway, to be honest. I think we went into this one in the knowledge that we're relatively safe. I think it was, unless there was a draw in the game, in the other game in the group, then we had a chance of going down or something like that, and if we'd have lost this game. But we headed into this game still with the normal Europa League players in there. Troy Parrott, Horvath, Michelin, Zagorak was getting a start, and Vasharin in that cam spot. And overall this was it was a little bit nervy, have to be honest. It was away from home, and clearly, we didn't bring loads of fans to the Czech Republic. I imagine not every Montpellier fan would be wanting to travel a few thousand kilometres to go and see their side in a relatively safe game that they just needed a draw in to guarantee going through. And in the first half we were relatively okay. It was quite end-to-end, a couple of chances for both. I think actually Sparta Prague had the better chance in that second half, hitting the bar twice there. Sadly for them, they would be made to rue their missed chances, as Andy Delors, 4 goals now in the Europa League in 4 games, picks up another goal, and very, very nice finish. No chance for the goalkeeper, poor defending, he's played in behind, and it's a really nice goal for us, and it means we were 1-0 up and cruising at this point, pretty much in the knowledge that we were pretty much through. All we had to do was just, sit back, defend this, make sure we didn't do anything stupid, and that is exactly what we did. We actually got one final chance just before the game ended, literally on the final few kicks of the ball, and it would be Antiste picking up his second goal for the club, second goal in Europe as well, as he makes it 2-0 and ensures the victory. As the referee was about to blow his whistle, he does pick up a goal with the last kick of the game. Really good goal from him, and a nice finish as well. Outsmarts the defender there. In the commentary, they say it was poor defending. I disagree. I actually think it was just nice footwork from the young Frenchman, and in the end, I think we deserved to win that. A nice 2-0 victory, a nice comfortable win, and the reverse fixture, if I don't mention it at the end of the episode, it was 1-1 as well. So I think it was Rapid Vienna that got through, which is nice. Nice enough for them. That's a little bit of a surprise for me. I would have predicted Rangers or Sparta Prague to actually get through ahead of them. So seeing that team get through is interesting. Clearly, the games we played against them, even though we won both of them, I believe, they obviously gave us a good game, and I was quite surprised to see how well they played in both of those games. However, we needed to put the Europa League out of our mind for a couple of months, as we didn't face anybody in that competition until February, late in February as well. So we needed to focus on the league and basically think about that, just try and continue our pretty good run in the league and continue to win. That would be a difficult one, though, as we did go ahead and face the league leaders, Paris Saint-Germain. Now, I'm not sure if they were unbeaten. I believe they might have had lost 1 game before this, so they were looking pretty good, high-flying and all of that, and they were pretty good against us as well. They did not really slow down their current run of form. Luckily, Stambouli makes a good block there. Well, not really a block, he put Mbappe off as he took the shot, meant he was off balance. Sadly for us, his feet were too fast for Alderete, as he does go ahead and foul the young Frenchman, brings him down and gives away a penalty. Really, really bad news for us. Alderete has been so solid for us, and it's unlucky because I actually dived in thinking he was taking the shot so he would block it, and he didn't. He stopped the ball and then fell over the man, and sadly for us, Neymar goes ahead and slots that home, puts it in the back of the net and gets his 14th goal of the season. He was the league top scorer in this time, and Neymar there, yeah, it's interesting celebration. I suppose they maybe planned that beforehand. But I think they maybe got a bit too big for their boots at this point, as they seem to switch off a little bit defensively, as almost straight away we get a chance here. Jonathan Tah heads the ball away, but isn't able to deal with the rebound, as Gaetan Laborde volleys it home, puts it in the back of the net, and really that is all on the big man there, Jonathan Tah. As you see there, he heads it away really poorly into the path of Laborde, but then he misses the block as Keylor Navas can't see where the ball is, misses the block, and I think he is at fault for that goal, really. So, nice finish from Laborde, but it was the only shot we had in the first half, and really, PSG had a couple of chances to maybe even extend the lead. That hitting the bar there from a free kick really did worry me. But we went into half-time 1-1, and I was quite happy with that. And we came out with a bang and ended up scoring with Florent Mollet. What a finish that is from the Frenchman. And Keylor Navas does nothing wrong there. But however, a common theme in both of the goals we score so far is a Jonathan Tah. He made a dreadful mistake, was drawn out and left Mollet to run in behind him. And really poor play by Jonathan Tah. And I think he was definitely at fault for both goals. And it could have cost PSG all 3 points in this game. They did get some chances towards the end here. Chance here as really good save from Omlin, honestly. His trailing leg makes a good save, and another good save there, stopping Neymar from scoring. And we pick up a 2-1 win against PSG. Only just, I would say, very, very close. Only scoring from our 2 shots on target. Keylor Navas had nothing to do the whole game. I suppose he just wasn't awake for the chances that we did have. Maybe he's at fault a little bit as well. But Omlin kept us in the game. He made some really crucial saves. And defensively, we looked pretty strong despite giving away a penalty. And overall, really, really good result for us. And I'm so happy to be picking up a win against PSG. Our first in the career mode completely. I was actually quite stunned. A good result. And I am super happy to be picking up the win there. We head into the final game of today's episode, and it is against FC Metz. Now this game is a little bit different. I wanted to try something out. I've been testing off camera in a backup save that's a few months previous to all of the recorded footage. So it's an old save basically that I just wanted to mess about with and test some settings. And I've been testing some different slider settings and some different difficulties. And I thought this one might be a chance for me to showcase how I've got so far and my opinions in it. I think I talk a little bit more towards the end about it, so I'll just talk about the highlights. Nothing happened in the first half. They had one chance, the only real chance. We had a couple of long shots and that was it. And in the second half, well, this was just really poor. I failed to mark the run, and then Omlin fails to come out to go and grab the ball, and it's a nice finish, but it's just dreadful defending by me, and I would say poor goalkeeping as well. And in the end, they go ahead and score a nice goal for Metz, but a poor goal for us to concede. And that was Wagner's 5th goal of the season. Hadn't scored too many goals for Metz this time. And our only real chance of the game was this, as Savanier takes the ball, puts it into Laborde, and he spoons it over the bar. So that's a really, really poor shot. And that was pretty much all we had in this game. It was frustrating to play, and I think it's definitely for me to say I will not be playing with sliders again. Not because we lost, because losing doesn't bother me. It's more about the enjoyment and the clips you get, and how fun it is to watch that game. And there was just no enjoyment or no fun, in my opinion, in watching that game. But that is going to be the end of the post-com section. I'll hand you over to my live section where I just record a little bit and ramble on about the rest of the career mode. Right, okay, so this is going to be just a little live bit right at the end, just to talk you through the team at the midway point, go through the team and talk about maybe some possible transfer signings for January. If people have got any suggestions, feel free to leave a comment. I always say leave me some comments if anybody has anybody they'd like to suggest, realistic one or unrealistic one. Always happy to go and have a look at those. I'll quickly just mention about the Mets game. I'm not sure if I've had enough time when I talk over the footage to talk about it too much. The Mets game was me just sort of testing out a couple of things. I didn't really, it wasn't a crucial game in the season. We're in a pretty comfortable place in the table. So I was just testing out a couple of things, some slider settings, and I was testing out loads and loads of things before that game. What difficulty to put on. I decided to go in with Legendary and some more difficult sliders. However, I just think I'm going to avoid using sliders. I'm actually going to reset them right now on camera. I'm going to avoid using sliders completely, bar injury ones. They'll stay at 70 and 40. But I'm going to avoid using sliders, I think. It just makes it... It doesn't make it any more difficult for me. It just makes it more boring. And I just struggle to understand how people find those slider settings fun to use, because I don't find that it makes the AI any more difficult. It just means they hold up much more possession, and there's actually just no runs from any players because of the way it's all set up. So I think I need to maybe test out a couple of things. I've been testing out a few in terms of playing on Ultimate. I might have to go and switch to that. I know it means that I think all the players are 99 rated or something like that, but if it means that the game's a little bit more difficult, I might go with that. I don't think we're necessarily unrealistic in where we are in the league. The only reason it prompted me to use those sliders was that PSG result. They were pretty good in that game, but they just weren't that clinical, and they didn't do an awful lot when they had those shots. The shots were pretty naff, so I just thought I would test out something against Metz. I mean, they're mid-table side, so it wasn't really much of a problem. And as you saw from the highlights, three different highlights in the game. One was the goal and two were shots, and it was a miserable game. It wasn't really fun to play, and that's not what I'd do this for. I play this for fun. So I'd like it to be a challenge, but I don't want it to be boring as anything to just grind out every single game. I have enough of that with playing Ultimate Team or playing other games. So there's no point in that. I'm just going to look to find the most fun setting that gives, a good result or just a good fun game. It doesn't matter if I lose or win or draw. It's more if the game is exciting to watch. And we've actually had a few of those games on Legendary, so maybe I don't, but it's something in the background that I'll just be testing over this season, I think. And next season for definite we'll have hopefully maybe in the next few episodes we'll have a definite of what I'm going to be using, because at the moment it's just a bit difficult, especially with the new update. I'm not 100% sure how the game is playing. That was a bit rambly and long, but talking about the team, it's fantastic. I really enjoy using this team. Aside from the Mets game, we are really, really good. If we look at in general, the goals we score, it's going to take me down to the bottom. Okay, that's fine. Delors is one of the best players I've used in career mode for a number of years. He's up there with Gonvula in that first season with Bochum. He's just fantastic. He seems to score in every game, or assist in every game. He's just fantastic. Gaetan Laborde is much the same. He had a little bit of a slow start and has been a little bit inconsistent this season, but overall he's been pretty good. And Florent Mollet has been fantastic. Did pick up a little injury, but he'll be back in the start for the second half of the season, so no worries on that, but he's been fantastic as well. And then other than that, we've just had a couple of goals from a few players. A number of players really. Vachar and Savanier and Tiste scored in the Europa League twice. Troy Parrott's been a little bit disappointing, but he's starting to get into the game a bit more, getting in and around the club, and I think worked with some partnerships with some players. And then Sambia, Alderete, Badu we're not going to include. Shotar scored his first goal for the club, and a couple of other players. So overall we are pretty free scoring, and we look good when we play our football against different teams. So that's not really a worry for me. My worry is more if we pick up an injury to Delors. Laborde maybe not so much, but if we pick up an injury to this man, are we going to struggle, and are we even going to be able to pick up wins without him? I think last episode I said no win, no Delors. It's quite true. We seem to struggle a little bit without him in the team, so I think the transfer window, I'm going to look to sign a striker, just somebody that can bridge the gap between Parrott and Antiste, and between Delors and Laborde, because they're quite high rated and they're 10 ratings below. So that's going to be my main aim in the next transfer window. I don't think I'm going to look to do anything else. I might look to loan out a couple more players. There are a number of our players who are going to be leaving the club to go out on loan. I think if we look, so Banchama's going. I think one of our centre backs is going. Bateau is going out on loan, and there's a couple of others I can't remember off the top of my head, but that's sort of the aim. We're seeing some really good growth across the whole team, +1s and +3s in even some places, +4 for Ibarra. So it's looking good in terms of how the team's doing. I couldn't be happier with how the season's going, and maybe the January transfer window could get interesting. There could be a huge offer for Delors that we just can't reject come in. Who knows? But we'll have to see in the next episode. I do hope you enjoy watching. Do leave a like if you enjoyed, and don't forget to subscribe if you're new. And I will see you for the January transfer window in the next episode, which will be out shortly. So thanks for watching, and goodbye.